everybody is talking about with Crawford in September. It's not the secret, but like I say, I'm focused 100% on William School on May because you know it's boxing, and you need to be focused on the next. It's gonna be bigger. Even the Mayweather fight is gonna be bigger than that.
You think it does more pay-per-view buys than the Mayweather fight?
Yeah, I think so. But first is first. I'm gonna be focused on William School.
No, Crawford needs the money.
Crawford needs the money?
Yeah, he needs money.
You think he had a chance to win?
But what makes you say that?
He needs the money. I'm telling you.
Canelo Alvarez isn't even thinking about fighting Terence Crawford right now. His full focus is on his upcoming match against William Skull in May. Still, fans can't stop speculating about a possible showdown. Meanwhile, Oscar De La Hoya praised Crawford's incredible boxing skills, but pointed out that smaller fighters often struggle against bigger, stronger opponents. Speaking from experience, he admitted that while Crawford is talented, this fight would be more about the paycheck than pure competition.
Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, back Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway.
Teofimo Lopez also chimed in, saying Crawford's style might help him hold his ground for a bit, but the weight difference would be a huge obstacle. He acknowledged that Canelo has evolved since his fight with Floyd Mayweather, though his performance has dipped slightly in recent years. Despite that, Lopez still sees Canelo coming out victorious in the end.
Listen, I think stylistically, Crawford could stay in there long enough. However, it's just with the weight and, Canelo, he's gotten better ever since Mayweather, but now he's decreased a little bit. Nevertheless, though, I think that think Canelo will get him.
Tim Chu shared his take, calling it an exciting matchup mainly because of Crawford's sharp thinking. He highlighted Crawford's high boxing IQ and even compared it to how Floyd Mayweather outclassed Canelo. According to Chu, Crawford is clever enough to pull off a similar masterclass in the ring.
Because Crawford's very smart. We saw what Floyd did to Canelo, so Crawford's got the IQ to do that.
Sean Porter reflected on his own fight with Terence Crawford, saying that in the first 6 rounds, he might have been leading 4-2 since Crawford didn't initially expect his approach. He admitted that Crawford needed time to adjust, but once he spotted a weakness, he took him over. Porter praised Crawford's patience and adaptability, noting that his intelligence allows him to exploit even the smallest openings.
6 rounds, I might have been up 4-2 or something like that. And it was because Terence didn't expect me to come in with that. He's seen me do it before, but he didn't think I was going to do that against him. And it took him some rounds to figure it out, and he found a hole in my game. Terence is that kind of guy where he's patient enough, he knows what he needs to do. But if he prepares for one thing, you come to the ring and do something different, that I know what it was that night. That night, he knew he had to impress.
Porter also pointed out that Crawford's focus on landing a straight left hand played a key role in their fight. He believed Crawford wouldn't make the same mistakes against Canelo Alvarez. He explained that Crawford likely wasn't expecting his counterpunching style, but would be better prepared for future opponents, including Canelo, after learning from their match.
And he knew that, if you know Terence's style, he's trying to line up that straight left, you know? And he got to a point where that became, I gotta have this firework at the end of the night. And that's what he was stuck on. He won't make that kind of mistake against Canelo Alvarez. And again, coming to the ring, I don't think he expected Madrimov to have this counter-punching style that he came to the ring with,
On the other hand, Gervonta Tank Davis agreed with Oscar De La Hoya. He claimed that Crawford is mainly in it for the money, suggesting that financial gain is his primary motivation. Davis also questioned Crawford's chances, especially since he'd be jumping up 3 or 4 weight classes to fight Canelo, a move that would make winning even harder. Davis hinted that Crawford might struggle in such a difficult situation. He claimed that Crawford is mainly in it for the money.
No, Crawford need the money.
Crawford needs the money.
Yeah,
You think he had a chance to win?
But what makes you say that? I mean,
he need the money. I'm telling you.
Does he have a chance to win though?
Tyron ain't playing like that, and they ain't playing on like that. So you want to see it? They ain't playing like that.
he's going up three or four weight classes. I think the chances of him.
That's why he say why he don't like me. That's the real
Davis added that he's not trying to convince anyone that Crawford can beat Canelo. While he acknowledged Crawford's skill, he emphasized that smaller fighters often have an advantage over bigger ones due to their agility and movement in the ring. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez made it.
I'm trying to convince y'all that he could beat Canelo. I didn't. He's a good fighter.
But you don't see it.
But, bro, I would say smaller fighters are always better than the bigger fighters because they're smaller. They know how to move and things like that. But this guy is great at what he do.
Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez made it clear that every fight matters, but he hinted that something big might be coming. With ongoing discussions about a possible fight with Crawford in September, Canelo acknowledged the rising anticipation.
I don't know. Every fight of Canelo Alvarez is big. So, but there is something. Maybe there is something. We'll see. Everybody is talking about with Crawford in September. It's not their secret, but
whether it's about money or not, Canelo doesn't seem too bothered. Instead, he stressed that his focus remains on his upcoming match against William Skull in May, making it clear that staying locked in on the next challenge is his priority.
Like I say, I'm focused 100% on William Skull on May because, it's boxing. It's boxing and you need to be focused on the next.
Canelo Alvarez has accused Terence Crawford of being disrespectful, hinting that this could be a reason the fight might not happen. Crawford fired back, pointing out that Canelo has faced plenty of disrespectful opponents in the past, from Shane Mosley to Danny Jacobs, and still never backed down from a challenge.
That, when you look at the history of Canelo, when you look at all the fighters that was disrespectful, calling them out, there was a lot of them, and he fought all of them. From Shane Mosley to, Laura and them, when you, Danny Jacobs and them, Sanders. When you look at all the fighters that was disrespectful to Canelo, he was fighting.
Crawford feels that Canelo took things more personally this time, seeing the disrespect as more than just a rivalry. It had deeper, even racial undertones. He explained that Canelo's decision not to give his opponent the payday he wanted wasn't just about business or boxing. Instead, it was an emotional choice, driven by feelings that went beyond the sport.
From a Mexican standpoint, when you got two Mexicans, that's one been extra disrespectful towards the other, he just took that personal, more so personal on the race aspect about it than the sport.
Yep.
He took the sport out of it, and he just felt as if he wasn't going to give Benavidez the payday that he wanted, just because he felt something different in that moment.
Meanwhile, former heavyweight champion Shannon Briggs is fully backing Terence Crawford, predicting he'll win by knockout. Despite not being much of a gambler, Briggs said he's willing to bet big, somewhere between $30,000 and $100,000, on Crawford's victory. He spoke with confidence about how he believes the fight will unfold.
I'm going with Crawford. Yeah, he's strong. This is his moment. I'm going with Crawford by knockout. By knockout? Yeah, I'm betting. I'm not even a gambling man. How much are you gonna bet? I don't even know. Anywhere from 1,000 to 100,000. Wow, yeah. 100,000 on Crawford, so not 1 round. I'm going by Crawford by stops.
Robert Diaz praised Terence Crawford's sharp boxing mind, saying this fight could become a classic, similar to Duran versus Leonard. He acknowledged that while Canelo always brings his best, Crawford has been preparing for this moment for a long time, carefully conditioning his body instead of making a sudden leap into the challenge.
Has a top IQ. He can give a lot of problems. It is a fight of the ages. It's one of those Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard type fights. I see that as the modern one, day one. Canelo is going to be at his top, at his A game like he always does, takes every fight serious, prepares. But he's not, Crawford's not taking the jump from one day to the next. He's been working on it for a long time, getting that body ready.
Canelo Alvarez believes his fight with Terence Crawford could be even bigger than his showdown with Mayweather, predicting it will attract more pay-per-view sales. However, he made it clear that his current focus is on his next opponent, William Skull. As for Crawford's chances, Canelo acknowledged his impressive boxing IQ and experience. Meanwhile, Benavidez highlighted the difficulty of Crawford moving up in weight, noting that he recently fought at 154 lbs and how this transition plays out remains to be seen.
It does, bro. I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Bud, his IQ and his experience will definitely help him through. It's just that, you know what I mean? He's going up 2 other weight classes when he had just went up to 154. So.
Talking about Crawford's boxing IQ and skills, Ramos admitted that while Canelo is strong and powerful, Crawford's ability to control distance and move around the ring could be a game changer. He pointed out that although Canelo is physically dominant, he isn't particularly tall, and if Crawford plays his cards right, he has a
can't get the job done. I think he's got what it takes. Obviously, it's unfortunate that Canelo's just so big and so strong, but he's gifted. You know, Terence is gifted. He's got that ring IQ. He can box him. He definitely can. Canelo's not that big of a guy. You know, he's short, but he's strong. So as long as Crawford can, you know, keep him on the outside, box him, I think he can get.
Both fighters are pushing themselves to the limit in intense training camps as they prepare for this highly anticipated showdown. Canelo is focusing on building power and endurance, while Crawford is fine-tuning his technique, speed, and fight strategy. Neither is leaving anything to chance. Meanwhile, Caleb Plant praised Crawford's strength and punching ability, noting how smoothly he switches between orthodox and southpaw stances. He also highlighted Crawford's skill at fighting at all distances, whether up close, mid-range, or from afar. Plant is excited for the fight, but admitted the outcome is unpredictable, adding to the buzz surrounding this massive matchup.
I give him a chance. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, closer range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, you know, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring. And
Caleb Plant had some words of advice for Crawford, urging him to stay true to his natural style in the ring. He praised Crawford's ability to fight at different ranges and switch stances, encouraging him to stay composed, trust his skills, and focus on a strong training camp. Plant believes success will come naturally if Crawford sticks to what he does best. Meanwhile, Regis Prograis acknowledged Crawford's talent, but gave Canelo the edge due to his strength and experience at higher weight classes. While he respects Crawford as one of the best, Prograis believes Canelo's dominance across multiple divisions makes him the tougher challenger.
I got Canelo on that one. Crawford, yeah, I got Canelo, bro. I mean, shout out to watching Canelo earlier, Canelo versus Triple G. I mean, I just think that it's weight class for a reason. Crawford, the best. I think Crawford, the best fighter on the planet. Being the best fighter on the planet for...
Another fighter recognized Crawford's exceptional skills, but felt that Canelo's track record at different weight classes gives him an advantage. He acknowledged that both are among the world's best, but as an American, he had to support Crawford. While he believes Crawford has a real shot at winning, he warned that any mistakes or loss of focus could allow Canelo to take over. He stressed that weight won't be the deciding factor, it's all about Canelo's game plan. If Canelo fights smart, he wins. But if he slips up, Crawford could seize the moment and turn the fight in his favor. Meanwhile, Blair Cobbs shared his thoughts, noting that Crawford will face major challenges due to Canelo's size and durability. Though Cobbs is rooting for Crawford, he fully understands the uphill battle his friend faces. Terence Crawford could face serious challenges moving up in weight to fight Canelo Alvarez. He'd need to gain 14 pounds, which might impact his speed and overall performance. Andy's pointed out that gaining weight is tough, but no one will know how Crawford adjusts until fight night, making the outcome unpredictable. You asked how tough it'll be? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be a challenge since he has to add 14 pounds. That could slow him down, or maybe even make him faster. It's hard to tell because adding weight means gaining muscle and moving. Upper division is never easy, but we won't really know until we see him in the ring. Meanwhile, Brian Norman admitted he initially struggled to pick a winner, recognizing both as elite fighters. While he acknowledged that bigger fighters often have the upper hand, he also pointed to past examples like Roberto Duran and Shane Mosley, who moved up and still won.
I don't know. It's just hard for me to see, and like I'm a really big fan of Crawford. I've called him out for years, and I'm really good friends with Crawford. I think this would be a very, very steep task for him. So I'm not really picking anybody. I just really want to see a good fight. I would love to see Crawford pull it off, but it's very hard for me to see all of that happen with the variables.
Look at history. Roberto Duran moved up 2 weight classes and took down the great Sugar Ray Leonard. Shane Mosley did the same and beat Oscar De La Hoya, so why can't Crawford do it? Danny Garcia expressed his excitement for the potential fight, recognizing both Canelo and Crawford as top pound-for-pound fighters. He found the stylistic matchup fascinating, but admitted that Canelo's size at 168 pounds would be a tough challenge for Crawford. At the end of the day, these are 2 of the best in the sport. If they both think this fight makes sense, why not? It's an incredible stylistic matchup, but let's be honest. Canelo is a big guy, and beating him at 168 won't be easy. Still, this fight is a massive moneymaker, and that's what boxing is about. Meanwhile, Crawford's trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, shared his excitement for the fight. Though he didn't reveal...
With that fight, I went back and I was sitting and marinating on it. At first, I couldn't pick a side for real because they both are good fighters, and we all know good fighter, check. But you got a good smaller fighter and a good bigger fighter. The good bigger fighter got the advantage. But then I started thinking about it. Roberto Duran jumped 2 weight classes and beat the man, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Crawford must have seen something in Canelo that made him confident enough to issue the challenge. It was Crawford who called for the fight, proving his self-belief and determination to win. Bomac emphasized that their job as a team is to help Crawford reach that level and secure the victory. He also highlighted Crawford's boxing IQ and strategic thinking, convinced that his intelligence will be the key to getting the upper hand.
People are counting Crawford out. Crawford's he's smart, he knows what he's doing. Canelo, he's not that big of a guy. He obviously weighs more, but you can't take nothing from Crawford. He goes in there to win. So I feel like it'd be a good fight. It sucks that my brother didn't get the opportunity, but only Canelo knows why it didn't happen. And he's got to keep moving forward. Got to keep moving forward. But it's gonna be a good fight to watch. I got Crawford on this one. The thing with him, he adjusts. He's a smart motherfucker. He adjusts. He's not only does he switch from southpaw to orthodox, but he's just a smart. He has a high IQ in boxing, and that's what I feel like. All these fighters that go in there to fight Canelo, they already go in there scared, is what I believe.
Crawford's ability to switch stances gives him an extra edge in the fight. While Canelo usually holds a mental advantage over his opponents, Crawford is expected to approach things differently. He believes his unique strategy will play a crucial role in taking control of the fight.
Canelo, no problem. I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. Excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting American. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov is a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's...
Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.